Hey, Attorney David Henn coming at you today to talk to you about underinsured motorist coverage. Now, this is a really confusing subject. A lot of people, in fact, a lot of lawyers, don't understand underinsured motorist coverage. So let me break it down for you. Underinsured motorist coverage is coverage that you carry on your policy to protect you when you are hit by someone who's driving around with not enough insurance on their own policy. Indiana requires motorists to carry policies of insurance with liability coverage of no less than $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. That means if you're hit by somebody who's at fault for an accident, their liability coverage is supposed to step up and pay you for your damages, and they have to have at least $25,000 worth of coverage on that policy to pay you. So here's how underinsured motorist coverage works. Let's say that you're involved in an accident and you have bodily injuries and the total amount of your damage is $100,000. The person who hits you has a $25,000 per person liability limit policy, which is the minimum amount required by law. And let's say that you have a $50,000 underinsured motorist coverage on your own policy. So we're going to use these two policies to try to pay you as much as we can of that $100,000 damage you have. Now, this is where it gets a little confusing. Stay with me. So the at-fault party's liability coverage is going to step up and pay you $25,000, the limits of their policy for your bodily injuries that total $100,000. So you have a $75,000 shortfall. So you turn to your own insurance company and you've got a $50,000 policy there. This is where it gets confusing. Stay with me. So you think that you could turn to your own insurance company and get $50,000 more because after all, you've got $100,000 in damages. But Indiana law allows your own insurance company to set off against your coverage the amount that you recovered from the liability carrier. So when you're carrying $50,000 in underinsured motorist coverage, what you are being insured that you will have no less than $50,000 available to you for your injuries from all sources of insurance. So how this plays out, you get $25,000 from the liability carrier, and then you only get another $25,000 from your underinsured motorist coverage. So that pays you $50,000. And yes, you have a $50,000 shortfall because you've got $100,000 in damages. It certainly seems unfair. What people don't understand is that when they buy their policy of insurance, they have to purchase enough coverage to make sure that they recover all that they need to recover to make themselves whole. Buying insurance, oftentimes you're insuring your own self more than you are insuring someone else. So when you purchase your insurance coverages, make sure you purchase underinsured motorist coverage as well as uninsured motorist coverage. Indiana requires your insurance company to include it in your vehicle policy unless you specify in writing that you don't want this coverage for uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. What we've been seeing lately is with everybody purchasing their policies online and by e-signature, insurance companies get fast and loose with gaining the required waivers in writing that people don't want these coverages. Make sure that you purchase the coverages that you want and that you need and that you understand what you're paying premiums for. If you're in an accident and you're facing these issues of whether the other party has enough insurance to compensate you for your injuries, reach out to me. We'll get on the phone together. I'll help you out, make sure we are reaching all the insurance that's available to you and making sure you're taking full advantage of all the coverages that not only you purchase, but that you're entitled to receive according to the law. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the ride. And we'll talk again later.